Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Abby, and today I have a question for you. Do you like putting ketchup on your eggs? Now some people do, and the sad thing is sometimes they won't do it in front of other people because they think that the other people will think it's disgusting. Now what about those people who love the taste of honey mustard mixed with barbecue sauce and ranch all mixed together, right? Some of us think that's terrible, but people out there told the world how great it was, and they didn't care what people thought. They loved it so much and shared it, and guess what? When we go to Chick-fil-A, we ask for it. That's actually Chick-fil-A sauce. Now, I'm not a foodie, but I'm going to have a point here for you. Ready? My point here is that what we like, our preferences, is part of our authentic self. And we shouldn't have to hide it just because other people don't like it. We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with expectations and comparisons, not just from our family, but people at school, at work, and in the communities. And they expect us to be a certain way. We get judged if we're wearing the wrong thing, or if we don't like football, or in some worst cases, if we just don't like the right football team. And in those cases, we take the path of least resistance. We don't show up and we don't share our authentic self, our true preferences. We just don't assert ourselves because it takes confrontation, and it's easier now to say nothing, okay? But then what happens? We lose sight of what we truly are. Here's the truth, okay? You are unique, and your authenticity is your greatest strength. Embracing your authentic self means accepting and celebrating your true personality, your values, your passions. I just spoke to someone the other day who said he thinks he's just not going to go do the PhD that his family wants him to do because it was not his dream. There you go. What's his authentic self? This is when we need to be honest with ourselves and with others. Don't be afraid to show the real you. This might seem a little trivial, this little example that I'm about to give, but I was at an event the other day and someone at my table asked me, what mythical creature would you be if you could choose one? And I thought about it and I just didn't want to be a mythical creature. So I just said none. And I think that's terrible in some ways because it's like I squashed her great question, her small talk question at the table. But I truly thought about it and I thought, I don't want to be a mythical creature. I felt so free too. I felt free answering the question with a no answer because it was really how I felt. And she could tell that I felt great about it. Actually, she was a little impressed by it. Another thing that happens when you embrace who you are is you attract genuine relationships and opportunities that really align with who you are. Take some time now to reflect on what makes you you. What are your passions, not the things that other people want for you? What values do you hold very dear? What fascinates you? What makes you feel exhilarated and alive? Write them down. Okay, and give them energy, give them some attention, and then remind yourself about them daily. This is how you practice your self-authentic awareness, okay? And then practice some self-compassion. It's okay to make mistakes on your way to your goals and to have imperfections. It's totally fine. We're all imperfect in some way. These imperfections are part of what makes you human. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. I saw this great social media post put on by this young lady who's also a pageant queen. And most of her posts you see are usually of her modeling, looking amazing, wonderful, just with these beautiful gowns and everything. But this particular post showed her falling down while she was practicing, while she was modeling. And it was a little offsetting when I first saw it. It was like, oh no, is she okay? But it was definitely different than what was normally on her social media feed. The thing is, she was being authentic. She was showing what it's like to be human. When we fall down in life, it's so easy to beat ourselves up. But her post celebrated the idea of falling forward. If we fail, we know that we failed trying to do something, because failing to do something is, in the first place, the true failure. Remember that. So embrace our mistakes as the baby steps towards our success. And then finally, let go of your need for approval. And if you're Filipino, I know you're telling me, yeah, right, that's so much easier said than done. But the best way to start is to be aware of when you're doing things for other people's approval. Constantly question yourself. Try to find your authentic wants and desires. And then when you're aware, you can catch yourself in that moment and shift your thinking and say, wait a second. This is not what I want. Your worth is not determined by others' opinions, okay? Let me say that again. Your worth is not determined by others' opinions. Be confident in who you are and trust that the right people will appreciate you for it. And by embracing your authentic self, you'll find greater happiness, fulfillment, and success. So you be you, boldly, unapologetically, and proudly. You've got this.